Back with the '09 Lexus ES350. Gonna dig into this thing today and see what I can get done and what I can figure out. I removed all the plastics covering up the engine, and I found something interesting. This is there's the plug for the ABS module, and it's not plugged in. It should go in right here. So that certainly looks intentional. What were they trying to accomplish with that? And then I also found that, you're not gonna be able to see it, but down in here, the lower radiator support's pushed in a little bit. So, and you can kind of see this upper, see that there. And on this side, it's not. Something's a little bit tweaked here. Something I can probably pull back into shape with the come along. Nothing else seems out of whack here, really. The only other thing I found was this battery that I bought a new one to replace. It's actually only about a year and a half old. So that one actually might come back and be usable. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is attack this nasty interior. I just can't even sit in this car. It grosses me out. So I'm going to pull the seats, console. I already started pulling these trim panels here. All these just come out with, they're just held in by clips, and you give them a good yank. And the one here below the seat belt, it's nice that this is two separate pieces. Some cars it goes all the way up to the ceiling and you have to pull the seat belt, but that's not the case here. You don't need any tools. 3 pieces and they just pop right out. Alright, I had to pop up this back seat. I gotta see what's underneath here. I bet we're gonna find some goodies or maybe some information on the prior owner that'll give us a clue on this car's history. But there's just a clip right there on either side that you give it a good yank up. And so let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's nasty. That is disgusting. Fries. Fast food stuff. Yuck. And a little bit of change. Okay, I got that cushion fully out. And we can see what the color of the floor should be before and after. Gross. I think if I can find a gray carpet too. I think these came in black, gray, and then I think they call this cashmere. I call it tan. But if I got a gray or a black, I think it would tie in with the dashboard. So I'm not really fussy about what color I find at the junkyard. And I'm going to pull everything out to clean it, and then also so I know exactly what tools I need to pull in at the junkyard. It's just easier. I don't spend a lot of time running for tools. But nice feature is it's got access for the fuel pump under the back seat. Hopefully we won't need that, but good to know it's there. And there's quite a bit of change in here. I'm going to count that all up and see how much we start putting in the profit category here on this project. Popped off these little covers that go over the seat tracks. Just a little clip on either side. Popped off this back cover on the console with the vents. Just need a little pry tool, and that pops right off. Driver's seat's out. Got 4 14mm bolts, and then 3 electrical plugs. I guess airbag, power seat, and then air conditioned heated seat. I think those are, but then get another glimpse of what the carpet should look like versus what it does look like, and some more money to add to my cleaning fund here, I guess. Same deal on the passenger side. 4 bolts, 3 plugs, more change, some fingernails, feathers, hair, I don't know, neosporin, and just more repulsive stuff. Okay, carpet's out. So anyway, there's a series of clips that go on these holes along the edge. They are, where is one? They look like this. And this part clips in, and they're just, here's one. They're just here to hold this wire harness in place on the edge, and just pop those off with a pry tool, trim tool, a couple screwdrivers, whatever you got. And then when I reinstall a new carpet, I'll take this console out, but I was able to pull it out from under there without any extra tools. So, I mean, basically you need a pry tool or a trim tool, like one of those, or one of these plastic jobs, and 4 14mm bolts on each seat, and that's all it takes to remove a carpet. And the change pile is growing. It's a new day, a rainy day, and I'm going to pull this thing in here and take the bumper off, look underneath it, change the oil, see if I can see if where it's leaking. I plugged in that brake nozzle, cleared out all the codes. And we got rid of the brake light, the ABS light, and that AFS light. That airbag light's only on because I haven't plugged the seats back in from removing them. So it's interesting that that fixed a lot of our problems here as far as the warning lights go. I haven't driven this down the road yet, but I'm going to change the oil and check it out. And then maybe I'll feel like I want to take it down the street and see if it shifts and if there's any other new and exciting problems. I ordered a screen for this for 30 bucks. You can buy this whole thing with the radio for like 120 used, but people sell just the 7-inch touch screen, and I think that's all that's wrong, because we do have a radio, and like I said, it acknowledges when I touch it, so I think it's just the screen. We'll see. Well, I got the bumper off, and I can see down here. That lower radiator support got bent up pretty good. Out of there on the side, but up here is the, like the frame rail, what you call the frame rail, and that's not impacted at all, so that doesn't look too bad. And then on the other side, this has been worked on before. This is I don't think they weld stuff like that at the Lexus factory. So this has been repaired, or this lower portion replaced before. But again, not up here into the structure, just really just this lower loop that is just the radiator support. So we can make that work. And here's the driver's side fog light. The light itself is usable, but the housing in the bumper is, somebody shot a few drywall screws in that to fix it before, and it's broken in multiple places. Interesting. Alright, first look under here. I expected some stuff to be kind of mangled. Here's the front of the subframe. That's scraped up on something. Here's my oil leak. It looks like it's just the filter housing. Whether it's bent or it just has bad seal, loose, I don't know, but oil pan's pretty banged up. The exhaust has got some stories to tell. And then this looks like somebody tried to weld a little hole there, but that's bashed in. And here too. Interesting. But otherwise, worst of it's up here. This lower radiator support. Like the point of impact was here, pushed up, yanked this over. It looks like it pulled on this little bracket here on the AC condenser, but it doesn't look like anything there is leaking. You'd see like oily residue usually. So I'm not sure if that's the air conditioning problem. But first things first, I'm going to get this oil drained, and I got a new filter. See if I can take care of that leak. See how nasty this oil looks. It's pretty mud brown, but I don't see any sparkles or chunks. Just way overdue. Okay, got the filter changed, cleaned this housing all up. It looks like, I've noticed a few funny things here. First of all, this kind of stuff was what was in the bottom of that filter. Just what I suspect is probably in the bottom of the oil pan here. So I'm just going to let this drip for a few hours just to get all the crud out of the bottom. But what I'm noticing is we got this brace here that has certainly got some scars. But then when I look across to the other side, it's not there. There's what's left of it. And I think if we look here, see where this is all scraped up and rusty. And this transmission oil pan has been replaced because it's got a couple different labels on it. So I suspect, this is my theory, this and this and this and the transmission pan and this piece being missing and the welding that I showed on the other side, that was from a prior incident. And what happened this time was this, which pushed up on this bar, which pushed up on the upper radiator, which is why the hood doesn't latch exactly right. But whatever they hit came through here, hit this, which is a drain plug on the filter housing, hit that, see that mark, and then hit here and here. Whether that was a curb or a rock or what. So, I mean, the good news is nothing else really seems out of whack. This took the brunt of it up here. Is it worth putting a new exhaust on? Is it worth putting a new front engine cradle on? I mean, this is going to have to be pulled and banged back into shape and then welded back here like they did on the other side. I mean, I could get this piece, and then I'm also going to need both of these little brackets. I don't know. All of this is going to, when the bumper is connected, it covers up. I don't know if the bumper connects here or here. I mean, this is all going to be hidden anyway. And as long as everything's straight and the radiator is supported, does it really matter? On a 16-year-old car with 180,000 miles, I don't think it does. As long as it goes down the road straight, it's not structurally compromised as in unsafe in an accident. I think it'll be okay. So this is what the hood was, a pretty good sized gap there. But just just unbolting this lower support. I mean, look at that thing's got a lot of flex to it. And doing that, now it latches properly, lines up. You can pop it up. That's how flimsy this is. It really relies on this vertical support to give it any kind of strength. Alright, I'm still letting the oil drip out, and I ordered the key for the lug nuts. It's just a standard Toyota part, I guess. So while I'm waiting for that, while the oil's draining, I guess I'll check this AC, and it's completely empty. So I'm going to hook up my vacuum pump, get a vacuum on it, and see if it holds it. Okay, ran the vacuum pump. That's as low as it'll get, just shy of 30. So now I'll just let it sit. I'll set a timer. I mean, if it can hold that for an hour, I mean, there's not a significant leak, and I can charge it. If it drops, I'll have to look for a leak. I'm not gonna waste refrigerant. Plus, you know, in quotes, it's illegal to charge a known leaking system. I mean, but everybody does it. But just for full disclosure, we're just making sure there's no significant leak. Here's before on the left and after on the right. Not perfect, but a lot better. And that's just a couple squirts of Dawn dish soap and water, and then hit it with this power scrubber, and then just rinsing it off.
Low battery, please charge it.
That's the
Low
thing.
battery, please charge it.
Yeah. That works good for most plastic trim. Doesn't smell, nothing harsh that would maybe damage something. $4.69. Okay, about a half hour later, it's just shy of that 30 still. I'm gonna let it sit a bit longer. Maybe I'll let it sit overnight, and I'm gonna put oil back in the car and call it a day. But I'm gonna let this sit and see if it leaks, if the vacuum decays. It's right there at that 30 still, though. That's a good sign. Not seeing any leaks. It was leaking steady. You can see if it was idling on the path, driving it into the garage. So that's good news. That was an easy fix. I'll take it. Well, it's the following morning, and it's held that vacuum for, boy, over 12 hours, 16 hours. So I'm confident I can charge it. It's possible that one of these two Schrader valves has a leak when it's not connected. I can just replace those before I charge it, so that's not a big deal. I bought a big package of them off of eBay or Amazon, so they're just like a tire valve core. Just unscrew it and screw the new one in. So I think I'll just do that for insurance. I don't know, I'll have $4 into it, and then I'll charge it, and hopefully it works. This is that back wheel that was kind of cockeyed, and when I pull the wheel off, what I can see is, maybe it's not coming out here, but this here is tweaked. Like the strut goes kind of like this. So we need a strut, and this wheel bearing also had some play when I shook it like that. I got the what is supposed to be the Toyota key, which looks like this but doesn't work. So I got this kit for 20 bucks, and it's got a couple different sizes. It just slides on and grips it. So that's how I got them off. Real high security. It's like 20 bucks on Amazon. It's good for stripped out. You got a strip lug nut too, so you don't end up messing up the wheel. Or anyway, handy thing to have. That got me into the wheels here. So I need all-around brakes, one wheel bearing, one strut, but probably just do the pair, and that's just the first wheel. Here's maybe a better shot of that strut. Kind of see right here, and then it bends right there. Got the right side front wheel, passenger side wheel off. Everything's tight here. Brakes even look like they have a fair amount of pad left. I got new ones. I'll eventually do them, but just not right away. I see a newer sway bar link here. And possibly the axle's been replaced, and the lower control arm looks like junkyard writing, so that's been replaced before. Otherwise, everything here looks okay. The dust shield, or whatever you want to call it, brake dust shield, is pretty bent up, especially on the bottom there. And it's rubbing a little bit, so I'll just bend that back. But otherwise, nothing here that needs anything urgent. Needs a fender liner, which I already knew. Driver's rear. It's got an even worse wheel bearing. Driver's side front. That wheel bearing is totally gone. And the brake on this side. That also looks pretty new. Nothing else here other than that terrible wheel bearing. Everything else here looks to be in pretty decent shape. Well, I ordered the $27 screen, and that didn't fix it. Lexus radio, and it works. What they sent me was the digitizer, not the LCD. And upon further, even though it was described as the LCD, but I returned that, and I found that the LCD costs more new than just buying an entire used unit that's got a guarantee. So that's what I did. I bought the unit used off of eBay for, I think it was like $120, $130. Came with the clock, the CD player, and the cassette deck. So if I can resell the ones from the old unit, because everything worked except the screen. So just showing here, everything works like it's supposed to now with this thing installed. Now that I've torn into this thing and made a good list of everything it needs, next come the shopping / procurement stage. And I got almost everything I need here to put it back together. I got a exhaust kit for that. It's like a Y pipe where it connects with the catalytic converter. 50 bucks shipped. You can't beat that. I found a replacement lower radiator support. 75 bucks shipped. Since the thing's been mashed up twice and parts available and pretty cheap, I'm just going to change it. I'm not that big of a hack. A little bit of a hack, not that big of a hack. Got the pair of lower splash guards that go right behind the bumper. Those are both busted up and missing. And I want to say I paid like 35 bucks for those. New faux leather cover for the center console. I think that was around 20 bucks. The two brackets that connect the engine cradle out to support the radiator support. So one was missing, one was really mangled. I think I got the pair of those for 25 bucks at the junkyard. I got a used mirror for 40 bucks. I got a new fog light for 21 bucks. That box has 2 rear shots struts, 2 rear struts. They're only like $60 for the pair. This car shares a lot of the brake and suspension components with the Camry and the Avalon. There's tons of replacement parts for that kind of stuff. I got two El Cheapo oil filters, so I can change the oil every 1,000 miles or so and flush it out. New wiper blades. This is the oil filter housing. I noticed afterwards it still had a little drip out of there, and because that had a obvious scrape mark, I'm just going to change that. $20. Cabin air filter, that was a couple bucks. Best deal was this carpet, $15 from the junkyard, and the only real stains on it are like around the consoles. People spilled drinks or food or whatever, and the rest of it, there's no real wear. Just needs a good vacuuming and a light shampoo. I mean, people are getting $500 for these online used, and Lexus wants over $1,000. $15, I can't go wrong. And like I said, I got the black. The black will tie in with the dashboard and the console, and the steering wheel are that. I don't know if it's black or charcoal, the carpet color, but that'll all tie together, and it won't show dirt as much for the future anyway. Inner fender liner that's missing, that was like $25, something cheap. Got the Freon for the AC and some coolant, and I got a pair of rear hub bearing assemblies, transmission filter, front and rear brake pads and rotors. All this stuff around $800. So I should be into this car once I get a set of tires. These are actually pretty. The size is a cheaper size, so these are not premium tires based on the size. Some sizes are a lot more money. So I think I'll be into this thing for under $3,000 altogether, and a couple days worth of work. So stay tuned, and I'll have video as I start to put it back together.